Hello everybody and welcome to another Team Grubby cast. In this game we are going to have Grubby himself, the leader and only member of the Team Grubby team, and Satiini, his blue Terran opponent, spawning on the bottom left of Xel'Naga Caverns. Now in my opinion, Xel'Naga Caverns is one of the more balanced maps in the map pool at this moment, so I really do like it, and one of the reasons is it's long enough that you can expand and be able to do so somewhat comfortably, but it's also short enough that you can rush your opponent and try to punish him for pulling off a strategy like that. So it's a pretty versatile map. And it looks as though neither opponent is going to do a proxy of some sort. Grubby throwing down that Chrono Boost, so that should confirm that. It's going to be some pretty standard play so far, which is a good thing. Now the question is whether Satiini will want to go for a fast expansion, or if he's going to go for heavy barracks pressure, or even a 1-1-1, which has been proving to be quite effective and just really strong. Hard for Protoss to stop. Just a super strong one base build. But we do have that gateway going down for Grubby at about 13, and that assimilator is now following. We do have the gas for our opponent as well. Satiini is going for that refinery. Barracks just about finished, and it looks like Grubby is sending the scout over. Looks like the two scouts are going to hug. Grubby's going to see everything that he will need to see. And he definitely will be seeing the barracks for sure. Here comes the gas. Okay, so he knows that his opponent won't be going for a fast expand. If he was going for a fast expand, then he wouldn't need gas, obviously. So he's probably going to try to get a tech lab or even a factory relatively quickly. So 1-1-1 is an option right now. So is just heavy barracks pressure. And we're getting a little zap from Grubby. Two friendly players. Satiini used to be a Warcraft 3 player as well. So I believe they might know each other. It's definitely a possibility. And it looks as though Grubby has thrown down his second gas. And they're debating about the game noises. But Satiini is going to see the double gas. He's going to see the Cyber Core finished. So Grubby can take this in a couple of different ways. He could throw down a starport and try to... Ooh, he could be going for a starport rush, because if you throw down a Stargate next to your opponent's base and then go for those void rays, it's really deadly. But he is getting a sentry and a stalker, so I'm not sure what he's doing. He could be going for a fast robo too. All are things that would require more gas. Satiini sees that he went for the double gas, and he actually is going to be throwing down his expansion, so that's a very appropriate reaction. Oh, but it is a robotics facility. Alright, so maybe he's going for an immortal rush, or it could be like maybe he wants to go for Colossi as well, but we do see another gateway. So two gateway robo, getting that warp gate research finished pretty soon here. Satiini not going for that early pressure, as we can see. But he is upping his macro right at this point, throwing down a bunker, so he's going to be a little bit defensive. Here, 3 barracks. Does have that stim as well. Looks like he's really kicking it up. And Grubby is going to have to try to punish Satiini at this point. Because if he just allows him to get this expansion this much more quickly than him, then he's going to be really far behind in the, in getting economy and just being able to keep up, especially when the Terran has mules. I don't really see how Grubby would be able to keep up 1 base to 2 versus any race, let alone a Terran. So he's going to have to react quickly. He's just now getting his observer out, so he's going to realize what exactly is going on, because he's completely clueless about this expansion. Does have 3 sentries, and he is getting out a first immortal, so it might be an immortal timing push. He is getting his Nexus at his expansion right now, And there actually is a Reaper over here. I guess Satiini wants to scout. That's a good idea. But Grubby looks like he caught wind of it. And I think he is going to take it out. Oh, try to go for the force field while it was going down that cliff. Looks like it didn't work, but that would have been pretty sick if it did. Grubby going to try to get it. No, it looks like he will not be able to do so. But the Reaper didn't spot anything except for the unit that Grubby had, which basically doesn't help at all. Grubby in the meantime throwing down 2 more gateways. So this is gonna be a nice little push. I don't think he has a probe. Yep, there we have a probe. So he's gonna be throwing down a pylon. No, it looks like he's retreating. So maybe he's not going to commit to this. He does have an expansion, so maybe he doesn't really need to do this. He scouted with his observer, and maybe based on what he sees, maybe it's the bunker. He doesn't really want to push forward at this point. Satiini does have a ghost out, and he does have enough for an EMP round, which is so smart because he saw Grubby was going for really a type of style that's really sentry heavy, and if he can just get 1 EMP off, it can negate a ton of effectiveness of that army. So that's pretty smart play right there from Satiini. Breaking down these destructible rocks, wants to go for that gold. He does have this 2nd expansion finished, just about. Getting his 4th gas. So everything's timing up pretty nicely here for Satiini. Still on 3 barracks, now getting a reactor. He has 2 tech labs, so he's going to be able to get out a lot of Marauders and Marines at the same time. Should be throwing down more barracks soon though, unless he's going, yeah, he is going for that factory. So he might see medevacs coming up pretty soon. If he does go for that starport. Sizable force for Satiini. Grubby looks like he might be slightly ahead in unit composition and power of the army, especially with those sentries. He does now have a Colossus, so this I think would swing the army in favor of Grubby, especially if he can get some nice force fields off. But it looks like he's just going to opt to go for a pretty macro-ish type of game as well. Let's see what's going on in his base. Is pumping out more Colossi. Is getting that upgrade. So he's going to have that extended thermal lance pretty soon here. In fact, it's just about finished. And Satiini's now getting some Vikings in reaction to these Colossi. Did scan himself to try to spot an observer, and it's just outside the range. Does have these SCVs waiting to repair because he did sense his opponent pretty close by. And this Marauder's gonna go in and kill one of the probes, only to be sacrificed. I don't think that was quite worth it. Though he did get to scout the army of Grubby, which is very helpful. More Colossi being chrono boosted out. And we should see more gateways added anytime soon. We only have 4 right now. It's just taking us 3rd base, so relatively soon, especially when this gold base starts to get saturated, the Protoss will really have a lot of money coming in. And as we can see here, the Terran's way ahead just from mules. It really makes a huge difference. Just more Vikings coming out. There's already up to 4, and there are only 2 Colossi. I think a 3rd about to be finished. So Satiini really started pumping these Vikings pretty early in reaction to scouting those Colossi, which is just such a great thing to do. If you can scout those Colossi early on and start getting your Viking count up to really negate the effectiveness of the Colossi, and then your Marine Marauder Ball is just going to roll over everything. Especially when you have EMPs to get rid of shields and energy from the sentries. It's just such a deadly combination. Grubby trying to scout what's going on, maybe catch his opponent off guard. Looks like Satiini is too careful for that. We'll zap away to Marine. And Grubby did take some hull damage on that Colossi. Now, if you guys did not know, it takes 11 separate Vikings to shoot it once to kill a Colossi completely, and I think that's without upgrades from either side. So two volleys from this amount of Colossi, or excuse me, this amount of Vikings will take out 1 Colossi at this point. So it's pretty deadly. And it looks like Satiini has saturated the space now. He's up by about 600 minerals a minute. Pretty huge. Putting up a missile turret for observers and whatnot. Maybe Dark Templar defense. But really, just quite a big force. Pretty scary. And, oh, looks like we might have a couple Vikings picked off. No. But that observer goes down in no time to the missiles of the Vikings. Satiini stepping up his infrastructure, trying to get rid of some money and try to spend it really quickly to get to 200. Microing his Vikings around, probably going to try to pick off some Colossi. Just a small task force to go pick off some probes. Sacrifice 1 Marine for 2 probes, definitely worth it. Oh, there goes 1 Stalker. Here come a couple of force fields, a couple units trapped behind the walls, and it looks like the Ghost throws down a huge EMP. Everything loses the shields, but the Colossi are still behind these force fields doing a good amount of damage. The Vikings do clean up what is left of those Colossi. Now the Vikings are having to land to fight in this. I don't know, this is pretty close, you guys. The medevacs are healing away, and it looks like Grubby will be forcing Satiini to fall back a little bit with this next warp in. Oh wow, but in the oh my god, it's the Zealot in the meantime. 8 kills, could it get up to, oh my god, 9 kills from 1 Zealot that was looped around. I didn't even see that, but it looks like there is another engagement going on. Archons are morphing in. He has been getting High Templar. A couple of medevacs picked off. And I did not even notice Grubby actually sent a Zealot around. I guess it must have been from this side during that whole battle. If we go to the income, oh wow, there's so many workers picked off by that 1 Zealot. It's just so barren, and I think that really actually made a huge impact. I did not expect that at all. It looks like if we can see just the difference in economy, now it's Grubby who's 600 minerals a minute up, rather than his opponent Satiini, which is just quite the swing in economy. That's pretty big. I think Grubby can actually try to capitalize on this. It's been kind of in Satiini's favor thus far, but we do have these High Templars, which can be quite scary. Oh, a huge, oh my gosh, a huge storm goes down on all of those units. The medevacs are completely out of energy. Wow, Satiini walked right into that storm. I can't believe he didn't even expect something like that. And we get 1 storm off on the mineral line. It looks like 5 more Marines taken out with another. And these Archons are just so good against Marines. It's pretty ridiculous, and they do take a good amount of damage. Another Colossi out on the field, now warping in with a lot of speed. Grubby has a lot of warp gates, which is really what he should have when he does have this gold base. So he could probably even expand again, which it looks like he is doing. And Satiini really is not in a commanding position at all anymore like he actually used to be. His Viking count is rather low. Trying to get that back up. His map control is very limited. I would not feel comfortable in the middle of the map now against this Protoss army, which has a lot of range, a lot of AoE damage possibility. Oh, there goes 1 feedback on that lone Ghost. Very nice snipe right there. And just Grubby he has a really scary force right here, and especially with his micro, he can handle this very well. Viking count, like I said, not too good. There are a lot of ghosts, so that could possibly account for EMPing almost everything if he can throw off some perfect EMPs. Grubby trying to make another hero out of a Zealot. I don't think it's going to work just yet. Sending a lone Templar. There goes. He was able to get a couple of mules, a couple of SCVs. If he can just go keep using energy to take away the income of his opponent, just going to be super effective. Spending energy to take away SCVs is always 100% worth it. And I think Satiini, oh, there goes down 1 storm, takes out 2 Marines. And it looks like Grubby is going to come up. There go down a couple of, oh my god, huge EMPs, getting almost everything, I think, actually. The Vikings overcommitting, and they will be taken down. Only 1 Colossi was gotten to red health. Other than that, not much damage done. Here comes the Zealot up to scout. We'll see everything that's going on. He does have charge finished. He's at 2-0 upgrades. His opponent is just getting 2-2. Another couple of zealots trying to pick some things off. Not going to work out. Looks like Grubby's going to come right back up. EMPs going down in waves. Non-stop EMPs. There goes down to one pretty useless storm. These medevacs are just been working. It's just been working so hard. Their energy level says it all. They cannot keep up with how much damage is being dealt. Another money EMP. Satiini is just waiting for Grubby to come in this choke. He loves it. And I don't know, Grubby's army is looking a lot less scary as the time goes on. I think he's really allowing Satiini too much of a cushion after really damaging him so much with that one zealot and that attack that he somehow won. He has this 4th base up now, and that 3rd expansion is kind of getting pretty saturated, so I guess he's just been waiting for that. Trying to play it pretty safely, which is always a good thing to do. And he'll be trying to loop around again, not going to work. But baiting these units, a really nice split. Oh, 2 storms, but a really nice split from Satiini. He actually walked around each side of the storm. Pretty impressive. But it looks like Satiini is just about mined out at this gold because he's had it for so long. So he's really just going to be hard-pressed to find a way to get money, as we can see right here. And I think this might be it, folks. Here we come. Grubby probably going to try and get him a better position. I would bring my Colossi up on here. Yeah, looks like that's what he's going to do. These blinking stalkers are ready to go. And it looks like he's going to come in right to it. It's going to bring his... Oh, 2 huge storms go down on just about everything that Satiini has. These Vikings a little too far ahead. The stalkers could pick these off. Trying to bait Satiini's army into these storms. It looks like almost all the ghosts getting feedback. Grubby's going to have to move back. Another storm going down, warping in more units. Here's another Colossi. Another Colossus just zapping away, slowly tearing apart Satiini's army. There goes some more Vikings that overcommitted. They have a long range, but not long enough when those stalkers are there. And Satiini is just getting picked apart, and really, to be honest, he cannot keep producing as much as he wants to. Gonna focus fire down all these Vikings. Satiini is just gonna call a good game right away. He realizes Grubby's force is too strong. And, oh my gosh, Grubby just expanding all over the map, taking the whole map, just really taking advantage of Satiini after he got that huge lead, and just expanding it even further. Wow, hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and if you aren't already, become a member of followgrubby.com. Go ahead and check that site out. Really cool, see a lot about Grubby, and a lot of his tournaments that he's participating in or even hosting. So a lot of interesting stuff there. Go ahead and check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Hobo4Craft signing out.